action plan for embracing change, adapting fast, and future-proofing your career by Detention.
I wasn't really sure if I should add some voiceovers because of the constant chattering. I don't know if that's very soothing or disrupting towards you, so let me know. Let me know.
A personal program to activate your brain and do everything better for one to use Fluky PhD with Billy Fitz.
Is that another honk I hear? Another honk.
I escaped a Chinese internment camp. There's the light on other eyes, and they're in a fetal position. And this is a winner of the Pulitzer Prize, and it's gold standard. is Zumra Dua. I was born June 16, 1982 in Uyghur, East Turkestan, part of China. My husband and I weren't rich, but we were happy. We loved to travel with our family. I liked our free in places where in Urumqi things were never great. And then they got worse. Inside represents I escaped a Chinese internment camp. Condensed and edited by Anthony Delcourt. There's some interviews and testimony with Samrat Dua. Art by Bonita Azim. Imagery based on recollections and testimony. November 2016. Chinese authorities began to build police stations every 300 meters in the residential areas. They forced us to install a special application on our phone. Each time I said anything related to the Muslim religion, the police would call me immediately after and ask me what I had said. People would be seized if the authorities found anything representing Islam in their homes. So people threw out their stuff. The sewers were lined with their copies of the Quran and other objects. March 31, 2018. Just as I was preparing lunch, I got a phone call to report to the police station immediately. I thought it was just a check-in. And they asked me about my phone calls, about my visits abroad, which Uyghurs I had met there, whether my husband encouraged me to have more children, whether I had more children because of my Muslim religion. Womp. The interrogation continued the whole night. The next day, I thought they were going to shoot me. I was in a kind of military hospital. These are cries of pain. They took our fingerprints and photos, vagina tests, an ultrasound, a blood sample, eye scans. The police then took me to the car and placed the hood over my head. We traveled for 1.5 hours. is that, I think. I realized I was in a detention camp. I had to change in front of 2 male officers and 1 female officer. In the cell, there were more than 30 women. Not everyone could fit in beds available in the cell. I soon realized that the women were taking it in turns. Half were lying and half were standing, and they changed every 3 hours. Every day, we would be taken to a large hall where we were made to sit for 4 or 5 hours at a time.
On the second day,
I was taken to a room.
where they cut my hair.
They cut my hair. The food quality was very bad, but as I was starving, I ate the food. There was an old woman who had diabetes, and I shared some of my bread with her. Two camp guards came who saw that, threw the cars and beat me. As they beat me, I accidentally mentioned the name of Allah, and they beat me harder. On certain nights, the camp guards came to the cells to select young, pretty girls who take away. On one occasion, I was able to ask one sister a little older than me what had happened. They told me that they had undressed her, made her naked, beat her, and the police officers urinated on her. She tried to kill herself that night, but since she didn't have any access to any rope, she tried to chew on her own wrists. My husband went around all the police stations in Unity to ask about my whereabouts. The police officers told him
that they could not reveal anything to him because of orders from higher authorities. So we went to the Pakistani consulate in Beijing twice. Threatened to speak to international media outlets.
The Beijing authorities got in contact with my husband and asked him to stop speaking to the media. The camp guards stated that Allah does not exist. But Xi Jinping does and did many good things for us. On one occasion, after the class, they asked us, does Allah exist? And I could not say no. And then they beat me, which kept me going. What kept me going through all of this was vowing to not let them win, not let the Uyghurs become extinct. June 2nd, 63 days into her captivity. They again placed a black hood over my head and drove me for about 1.5 hours to 2 hours. We arrived at the police station. My husband was there, waiting. I was forced to sign a form stating that I had religious extremist ideas, and that is why I had to go to the camp. I told my husband we needed to leave Xinjiang. We had to go. The Chinese authorities instituted a forced pairing system. A family of 4 Han Chinese had to stay for 10 days in their home every month. I had to treat this family very well, including shopping for them. Every Monday morning, we were forced to attend a Chinese flag-raising ceremony and praise Xi Jinping. November 2018. At another flag-raising ceremony, the authorities asked mothers who had more than 2 children to stay after the ceremony. A police car collected me together with 4 other women
and took us to the hospital. I was given anesthetic and lost consciousness. When I came to my senses, I felt a lot of pain. I had been sterilized.
My husband and I wanted to leave China with our family, but the Chinese authorities stated that I did not have sufficiently strong relations with Han Chinese to receive my passport.
On January 27, 2019, I had to report to a police station to answer several questions.
I undertook not to reveal anything about the camps. I was allowed to buy a return air ticket to Islamabad.
I was afraid that I would be arrested at any moment. But the plane left, bound for Washington.
My husband warned me that the U.S. Customs would probably pull me aside.
When he found out I was a Uyghur, he wanted to know how I had escaped. He didn't pull me to the side room. Instead, he said, "Welcome. Welcome to America. Welcome to America. Welcome to America."
No, a realistic word to America.
I started talking about my ordeal. The Chinese government has made threatening calls asking me to stay silent and to cherish my days with my children. I am 100% convinced that the Chinese government mentally or physically abused my father and caused his death.
My brothers don't talk to me anymore.
But I won't be silent. I need to tell people what's happening to Uyghurs.
And enjoy being free. These are, I think, red tulips. Estimates are that 1 million to 3 million Uyghurs have been placed in re-education centers.
Sumarat Dawud lives in Virginia with her family. The and special thanks to Zubara for translation services and the Uyghur Human Rights Project for its assistance. We are free to do whatever we want, so we are very happy.
I guess to start, what were your thoughts when you first saw the comic? I was very excited. I got very emotional. I cried a lot. Is there anything that we weren't able to put into the comic that you would have liked to have seen? I told you the story about how the Chinese government destroyed cemeteries, and also my mother's bones. They just closed it, broke them, the bones, put them in a bag, and gave it to us. That was really heartbreaking. Not only to us, it also happened to other families as well. Sometimes people had to keep them at home for some time. That was really painful.